With momentum for an upset building, the ball started moving and rare scoring opportunities emerged against the Connecticut Sun's experienced and physical interior defense. For the first time in 2 postseason games, Clarke was orchestrating an Indiana attack that resembled the high-octane group that led the WNBA in offensive efficiency after the mid-season Olympic break. But the Fever, clinging to a 2-point lead with 2 minutes remaining, hit a wall in crunch time Wednesday night that ended its season. Thanks to clutch three-pointers from Dewana Bonner and Marina Mabrey, the Sun scored 10 straight points in the closing minutes to claim an 87-81 Game 2 victory at Mohegan Sun Arena and sweep past Indiana into the WNBA semifinals. Connecticut will face the Minnesota Lynx in the next round. The Las Vegas Aces and New York Liberty will square off on the other side of the bracket. Clarke, Indiana's sensational rookie, led all scorers with 25 points. She added 6 rebounds and 9 assists in a fierce performance facing elimination. When the game was in the balance, though, Connecticut's defense successfully forced the ball elsewhere, leading to Indiana turnovers and empty possessions that left the 22-year-old guard staring at her first extended break from basketball in well over a year. Basketball has really consumed my life for a year. It will be good for me to reflect back on everything that's happened, Clarke said, noting how quickly she transitioned from leading the Iowa Hawkeyes to the NCAA championship game to becoming the WNBA's #1 draft pick. I'm going to take some time to myself. This season was special. There were a lot of things this group accomplished that a lot of people didn't think were possible. The off-season will be a little weird for me for the first couple weeks, but I'm sure I'll get bored and pick up a basketball again. Later, when asked if she planned to play overseas before the start of the 2025 WNBA season, Clarke deflected with a joke, "I'm going to play golf until it gets too cold in Indiana. I'll be a professional golfer." The season-ending loss opened with Clarke and Bonner facing off in several tense exchanges that reflected Indiana's spot on the precipice and Connecticut's desire to avoid traveling to Indianapolis for a Game 3 on Friday. Sun coach Stephanie White said before the game that she wasn't a fan of the WNBA's unusual format for the first round, which forces the higher-seeded team to play the rubber match on the road if it drops one of the first 2 games. "We're always talking about ways we can improve it," White said. "Back in the day, the first one was on the road and then 2 at home. I didn't like that, either. I think the best way is 1-1-1. For us, it's about putting us as a league in position to do that. Nobody likes it." Clarke did her best to bring the series back to Gainbridge Fieldhouse, where the Fever led the league in attendance. After Fever coach Christy Sides shook up her starting lineup, Indiana took an early 15-4 lead with Clarke, who had struggled in a Game 1 loss, delivering a pair of early three-pointers and finding a streaking Kelsey Mitchell for a transition layup. The Fever's offense endured cold stretches that proved to be its undoing, during a 10-minute run from the middle of the first quarter until the middle of the second. Clarke was the only Indiana player to make a basket. Temi Fagbenel, who made her first start since May 28, went scoreless in the first half before making several key buckets during the final period. Aaliyah Boston, who was waylaid by 2 early fouls, could only watch from the bench as Connecticut regained momentum. The Suns' ability to generate more sources of offense during a grinding contest proved decisive. Bonner, who finished with 15 points and 8 rebounds, showed her veteran savvy with back-to-back triples in the fourth quarter. Alyssa Thomas finished with 19 points and 13 assists, expertly balancing her own scoring with wise passing. And Mabrey, who blew open Game 1 with a perimeter barrage, posted 17 points and 6 assists. The guard, who was acquired from the Chicago Sky in a mid-season trade, came through with the shot of the night by hitting a three-pointer that gave Connecticut a 4-point lead with 46 seconds left. "It was a tough one because we climbed all the way back in," Clarke said. "We definitely had our opportunities late. A few miscues. We couldn't quite get over the hump. It's a good little taste of what's possible for this franchise." Indiana's narrow defeat left Sides to praise her team's resiliency after a 1-8 start to the season and a 93-69 loss in Game 1. Given the intense attention that has followed Clarke since her college career, Sides made a point to praise the Fever's ability to withstand the negative scrutiny that comes with record-setting television audiences and attendance figures. "The expectations were insane for us at the start of the season," Sides said. "What people thought we should be doing and the outside noise our team had to endure from Game 1 until now. There was a lot of hurtful, hateful speech out there that's happening. It's unacceptable. When it gets personal, there's no reason for it. We have some